Now let's go to our guest right there in Abuja. We have Mr. Oke Umano joining us on the program this week. The Securities and Exchange held the first Capital Market Committee meeting, and we're going to drill down on discussions had right there. Great to have you on the program. Good evening, and happy Easter.
Good evening. Yeah, good evening, and thank you for having me today.
Great to have you join us. So tell us, what were the key takeaways for you from the committee meeting?
Okay. The committee meeting was a successful one. As usual, everyone in the industry gathered to talk about things that concern us, things that concern the development of the capital market. We spoke about first where we are on the AML-CFT issues we have, what work we are supposed to do and we are doing around making sure Nigeria doesn't get into the FATF grey list again. And then we talked about, as usual, the unclaimed dividends issue and efforts being made to ensure that we solve the problem. And then there were reports about the work that has been done on the investment and securities bill that we are hoping will get passed soon, and also the National Savings Strategy report that has been submitted to the Honorable Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning. And a few other things around new products like derivatives, like the commodities markets and standards that we are trying to develop. Lots of things, all targeted at developing the capital market.
Quite interesting. But, looking at the capital market, performance in 2022, how would you, describe it? We've had the first quarter, go by now. How's it looking for you?
I think it's fair. Performance is fair. The stock market has, on the NGX All Share Index has done about 11% year to date, which is not a bad performance. Even on the fixed income side, the S&P 500, the S&P FMDQ fixed income index has done 7%. Okay, year to date. That's not bad for a first quarter. We think there will be improvements with all the work we are doing right now to deepen the market, to offer more support. But we also would like other parties, to join us in this work towards making our market an attractive one for everyone. So I would think that the market has done well. Even the commodities market has also done very well. The indices there have all gone above 7% in the first quarter. So I think generally the market has done well.
Quite interesting. And, talking about, discussions had at the meeting, a bill to repeal the Investment and Securities Act 2007 and to enact the Investments and Securities Act of 2021. That was discussed. Tell us about the Investments and Securities Act 2021.
Oh, okay. As you know, the ISA 2007 is the one that we've been working with, but it's been a long time between 2007 and this one that we are working on. There are a lot of things that weren't in our market at that time. It's a dynamic market. New products have come on, new challenges have come on, and so we thought it important, to refresh that law, our enabling law, and that's what we've been doing for about 2 years now. We've been working on it. It has certain things we need. For instance, we have issues around closeout netting in it. We have things around warehouse receipts, around securitization. These are things we did not have at the time the former or the one we presently use, the act we presently use, was passed. So we are excited about all the new opportunities that this act would, offer when it is passed. So we are, we'll continue to work on it. We continue to call on all stakeholders to join hands with us to ensure it is passed as soon as possible.
And interesting. And, I know there were conversations had around, Ponzi schemes, with this act. And Nigerians have been bombarded by so many Ponzi schemes, at this point. How would this act address, this growing interest in Ponzi schemes?
Okay, the Act strengthens the commissions, gives it more powers to, go after Ponzi schemes, and it also tries to bring in other stakeholders, to join this fight against Ponzi schemes. Ponzi schemes are bad. And it's important that we go after the promoters of these schemes, we close down these schemes, we prosecute them. So the Act strengthens us the more and allows us to work better with law enforcement agencies, to combat this menace. But let me just seize this opportunity to once again ask Nigerians to always confirm the status of investment, the status of people who ask them to give them money to invest with the SEC. It's just a short, a look at the SEC website, and you would see a list of, registered capital market operators. And if you cannot check that, you can also always just reach us on sec@sec.gov.ng, and you'll be sure, attended to let you know when a capital market operator is registered, what products are registered and which ones are not. And to those people who keep promoting Ponzi schemes, this is a warning that the SEC will continue to come after you. The SEC will continue to close these Ponzi schemes because one of our, one of the mandates we have is investor protection, and we are not going to fold our hands and watch Nigerians being fleeced of their hard-earned money.
Quite interesting. But, most of these, you've seen a lot of investors, wanting to make, good profit, and, so they fall into these too good to be true promises. But how do you identify Ponzi schemes, really?
Okay, any investment that is promising outrageous returns is suspect. So when someone promises you 100% return every quarter, I don't know what legitimate investment one can make to get those kinds of returns. So when it seems too good to be true, then it's probably not true. So that is the time to check, to ask, are these people registered? Is this product registered? So that's how to identify Ponzi schemes. Ponzi schemes always come with, outrageous promises. Even the capital market operators that we have and the funds that we have, we don't even let them, promise returns. Because really, you really cannot promise anyone any returns. But when people start telling you they will give you 50% return in a month or in 2 months, there's something wrong.
Quite interesting. But, talking about these schemes now, with their growing popularity, how does this all impact the economy?
It's bad for the economy because what it does is it hurts our efforts at capital formation. No nation can develop without forming capital. We have a huge infrastructure gap. It is this capital we are supposed to use to address that gap, to plug that gap. When people put their monies into Ponzi schemes, they lose confidence in investing. They lose confidence in, saving. Someone spends many years saving money and then hands it over to a Ponzi scheme, and the Ponzi scheme absconds with the money. That whole thing, makes that person lose confidence in the markets, and that's what we must fight. Also, it's not fair. I mean, people work very hard to get this money, and someone just takes the money and runs away. So it's actually bad from both the individual's point of view and from the economy as a whole. So it's something that all of us must join hands to fight.
Right, because some of these losses actually run into billions. All right, Mr. Omano, we'll continue the conversation just after this break. Do stay with us. This is Capital Market. Welcome back to Capital Market live on Channels Television. Well, we still have Mr. Omano been discussing the post-SEC CMC Q1 meeting. Thank you so much, Mr. Omano, for staying on the program.
Thank you.
All right, so the Standards Organization of Nigeria is collaborating with the Securities and Exchange Commission to, develop standards, for commodity trading in Nigeria. Can you tell us more about this?
Okay, that's an exciting collaboration that we have. As you know, we are trying to build a vibrant and robust commodities market. We cannot make the efforts we are making in agriculture complete without having a market where these things are sold, where agricultural commodities, minerals, solid minerals, and even the crude that we have, where they are sold. If we don't have such a market, then the cycle is not complete. The ecosystem is not complete. So we set out a few years ago to build a commodities ecosystem. We have put most things in place. Now is the time for us to arrive at standards, international standards for commodities, so that those standards will be used as a basis for trading. And that's where we thought to collaborate with the Standards Organization of Nigeria. And I must tell you that collaboration has been successful. It's ongoing. There's careful, calibration, assay of these commodities, and standards are being arrived at. In addition to that, we're also speaking with the London Bullion Markets Association to also establish standards for gold in Nigeria, so that the gold we are mining here can also be traded. So it's important that we establish markets for these things, so that our people will get the most benefit from producing them.
Well, quite interesting. It'd be great, trading, some of these commodities, because we've seen most of them have a super cycle, in 2022. But I want to thank you so much, Mr. Oke Umano, Chief Economist at the Securities and Exchange Commission. Thank you so much for sharing your weekend with us.